Hello, I'm Dr. Gregory Nicosia, and I'm here to talk to you today about earthing, or grounding, that is, being electrically grounded to the earth. About a year ago, I was at the ICEAM conference, and I had the opportunity to speak with Jim Oshman, who was very excited about some of the research that he had been conducting about the effects of being grounded to the earth. Now, being grounded simply means that you could be walking in the grass with your bare feet like people have done for hundreds of thousands of years. But today, people have become insulated from the earth by the kinds of footwear that we use and just not being in contact with the earth. When we are in contact with the earth, our body absorbs high energy state electrons into the body that neutralize free radicals, and that was something that Dr. Oshman was really excited about, because this is the major problem, free radical buildup in the body, that has to do with inflammatory disease processes that affects so many people and their health in the chronic inflammatory disease processes. Being interested in grounding and polarity and knowing that we are electromagnetic creatures, I wondered what kind of a difference this might make in my life or the life of any of my patients. I've always thought that I was a very well-grounded person. I spent a lot of time in the garden outside barefoot, and I only came to realize how little time I spent being grounded during the late fall and winter months. So with one of my patients who had a chronic inflammatory disease process going on that was getting worse and affecting her, sapping her energy level, causing a hardening of her skin and cracking of her skin. Her CPK values had spiked to well over 1,000, and they really shouldn't be over 100. She began to ground herself at night using a earthing sheet, and within one day had really unbelievable changes in her energy level that have persisted to this time. I remember her daughter, who came in to see me the following week, said, you know, before Christmas my mom went shopping with me, and she was at the mall for 15 minutes, had to sit down, shopped another 15 minutes, had to go home and lie down and rest. After earthing for a couple of weeks, her mom's energy level sustained shopping for 3 hours, coming home, making a dinner for 8 people, and cleaning up the kitchen. Her energy level had really returned to normal. Now, I know testimonials really don't stand the test of science, so one of the things that convinced me that something very real was going on was the drop in her CPK values, which over the course of a month dropped from well over 1,000 down into the range of 300 and are continuing to normalize even now. Seeing these kind of results made me pretty excited, and I decided that perhaps I needed to start getting grounded myself. So I got a grounding mat that I could put my bare feet on while I was sitting behind my desk for so many hours a day. You could also use one at your computer. Just any part of your bare skin that touches it works. And I also got a sheet for being grounded at night. The first day I had about 12 hours total being grounded between sleep and work. When I got up the next day, I first noted that I had slept very well through the night, woke up feeling well rested, and the energy level was good. I also noticed that a chronic pain problem that I'd had subsequent to a health challenge a couple years ago that had affected one of the nerves in my back seemed to have decreased noticeably. That's kind of hard to believe after having this kind of discomfort for a couple of years, but over time not only did the pain and discomfort remit, but also the innervation to that part of my leg which had been affected has returned. So from my own personal experience with both patients and myself, I can tell you that there's really an incredible change that goes on when we reconnect ourselves to the ground. Recent research has shown that chronic inflammatory diseases are truly related to not being electrically grounded. The Sokals recently published a series of 5 studies, and here they found that the immune system's response was definitely connected to earthing. Earthing overnight showed a change in the amount of gamma globulin that was being released. The primary indications of osteoporosis also responded to earthing with a change in blood serum levels of calcium and phosphorus, and also they found a significant relationship between earthing and blood glucose levels. So these are some of the hard scientific facts that are coming out that support the phenomenon that so many thousands of people have been experiencing. I've had many patients, some of whom you'll see with their own stories a little bit later on. I'd like to encourage you all to consider grounding yourself, changing your life. I know it's a simple thing to do. If you can spend time in your office being grounded, spend time on your computer, having a pad underneath, like a mouse pad or underneath your computer, it changes the voltages dramatically that we're exposed to. Just any part of your bare skin reduces voltages from many volts to a few thousandths of a volt, and this is a really exciting concept that is going to have the potential, or has the potential, to change our health, to change chronic debilitating diseases in our country and in our lives. So give earthing a try. You'll be really glad you did. Bye now.